You good to go?
Get that the fuck.
Guys, welcome to Mad Notions.
Hey, yeah. Welcome back.
Are we going to do it? We're going to release this one first.
We should release one of them.
I think we should just keep recording them.
Imagine if something ever happens to us in the next 5 years. You know they never stopped. There's 700 unreleased episodes.
The most popular podcast everybody's not listening to.
We're not going to make a whole thing. We're back.
Yeah.
As you can tell, we did our. I think we did what our. We've been in a couple cycles now of. If I was to play Mad Notions is getting their shit together bingo, it would be right. Let's edit all these episodes, get them all ready. We've done that before.
Yeah.
And then we're like, well, we need to go to IKEA.
I've been to IKEA more times with you than I have with Orla.
I love. We're like, we need to get our shit together. Let's go.
Let's get some seats.
Let's get some Swedish furniture. I like these.
Yeah, they're good.
Both of us on an even keel now.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Well, you're a little bit taller.
All good.
Yeah.
I scuppered yours when I was building it.
And it just collapsed halfway through.
Down.
I'll be in the middle of a zinger line. And just
Um,
Do you mind the look on my face when we went into the fake plant section?
you were annoyed.
Aghast.
Yeah. At the price of fake plants.
Yeah.
To be fair, think of all the money you're going to be saving on water, though.
Fair point, yeah.
We got a couple of those for our house whenever me and Margaret did a similar, we're going to get our shit together, let's buy some fake plants. That's sort of my answer to most problems. Is we should buy some fake plants.
We have real plants. Orla's good at maintaining them. She's she has a Montserrat that's grown quite big, and it's her pride and joy.
I wish we had Annie. The amount of times, I've even bought Margaret flowers for Christmas, fucking anniversaries or any of that shit. They always just die. None of us ever touch them. Aren't they lovely? And then just.
Orla loves flowers, and she's good at maintaining them as well. So
I found out a really useful tip of how to keep them alive longer, which is what water to put in. So apparently, if you mix a bit of, it's you can Google the ratio, but it's a bit of apple cider vinegar and a bit of sugar into the water, and make sure the water's kind of warm when you put it in. And it did work. They were fucking. They were enormous.
You don't want them getting too strong though.
In case they take over.
It's only a matter of time before the earth starts to fight back, Nathan. You know this.
And it'll be potted plants will be the first thing to go for us. It'll not be the computers.
You just be sitting there one day and the plant will just lift itself out of the pot and go, I'm coming for you.
The AI uprising is just a big ruse from Big Sunflower.
Decoy from Big Plant.
Annie, how are you, anyway?
I'm grand. Everything's been
Watching
good.
the World Cup?
Yeah, I'm watching the odd highlight.
Seems like nobody's watching the World Cup.
Last night I was telling you, I was on just seeing the title of a video. It said England put 6 past Iran, and I was like, fucking
God damn it.
I was like, I'm gonna have to have a look here. I was 6-2 first of all. They did fail to mention that in the title, and
it would have been a shit headline, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
England let 2 in from Iran.
And I was saying the reserve goalie had to come on fairly early on, which I think is always going to rattle you if your first choice keeper gets a fucking whack on the head.
Absolutely, from your own player.
Yeah.
Yeah, terrible.
Iran,
Fair play to them not singing the anthem.
Did they, what?
The Iranians refused to sing their anthem after being threatened that if they abstained from singing the anthem that there would be repercussions.
Hold on, so explain it. So the Iranians were
the Iranian football players
yeah.
didn't sing the Iranian anthem.
Why?
because of all the stuff going on. There's like an uprising in Iran over,
Right, okay,
over,
I got you.
over
Right.
women's rights
Yeah.
mainly. It's mainly women's rights.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's other stuff at play too, but
Also, that was in protest.
Yeah.
That was in solidarity to that
yeah,
movement.
yeah,
Right,
yeah.
gotcha.
It was pretty powerful. There was a couple of things on Reddit of it, and like there's this one bit where like they're like, you know, that thing where like they like scan across the players' faces as they're all not singing the anthem.
Stark contrast to the England football players and their
Yeah,
non-stand.
England.
But like considering what like Harry Kane walked back,
So crap, isn't it?
it's mortifying.
You think
It's like
of,
you really took a stand. And it's
you
like,
think,
yeah.
and to be standing shoulder to shoulder with those lads who like literally like every cousin, fucking, you know, relative, every friend you've ever had is potentially now in like probably fatal danger and has a target on their back from fucking some probably mad secret fucking police, you know, that are going to beat the shit out of someone. And then Harry Kane's like, but I don't want to get booked. That'll really. I'll have to be careful with my tackles. That'll ruin the whole thing.
Did you see the you know how they shorten it to like England ENG?
Yeah.
And then also for the first while it was like Iran was just IRA, and they had, I think every other channel had ENG versus IRA except for BBC, who went for just IRN.
Yeah. It's good to know someone in the
England
BBC.
versus the Irish Real Network.
It is I've been laughing at the, like there was a couple of interviews from like Qatari officials or whatever, like in the run up to it, you know, and they were like asking them about like, you know, like if there's like gay fans there, like are they going to be in danger? And it was really like, well,
No,
probably.
Who are they?
Probably not. We've never even heard of gay people. What are you talking about?
and just hypothetically speaking, where are they staying?
Yeah. I'm not like, show me 3 reservations emails from somebody. I dare you, send them over to this guy here. But and then like even with the alcohol, like they did like an enormous deal with Budweiser to be able to sell alcohol at the World Cup. And then the day before we're like, nah, no alcohol.
they did that with it's definitely going to be in the summer. And I was like, guys, you know what? Fuck that. It's going to be in the winter now.
We were lying.
12 stadiums, was it? Nah, it's 8, I think we actually said.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, no, 12 was the amount of thousands of people that died making them. Sorry. We always get those two numbers confused. But it's mad, like a country that has a regime.
Get you on, have I got news for you right now?
A country that is like apparently notorious for its hate of foreigners. And then like there's like videos of people, I was saying that to you before, there's like videos of people arriving at their accommodation and they're like, it's just like a tent in the desert and they're like not allowed to leave it unless there's a match on, and like there's like fucking literally like mad fucking crack police going around fucking telling everybody, get back inside. And they're like, it's really hot. Can we have water? And they're like, no. And they're like, we're not going to put up with this. And then they're like, how do you think everyone else who lives in this country feels? You can deal with it for 2 weeks. Harry Kane can't even wear an armband. You'll be fine. But it's unreal. Like people in uproar over it, being like, this is fucking ridiculous.
I didn't know they did a big deal with Budweiser. I just thought people were landing there expecting alcohol in a.
Well, I mean, it wasn't a brilliant deal, but it was like they were allowed drinking like designated zones and all this sort of, and there was going to be like drunk tanks.
Yeah.
So like if you were too pissed, maybe after your 3rd beverage or something, you know, they might be get in there and fucking say 10 Hail Marys or whatever they say in Qatar, and then they were like, right, that sounds crap, but I guess we'll put up with it because money, I suppose. Yeah. But like, it's so weird, like with all of FIFA's like I you know, only really interact with football now from playing FIFA, to be honest. But like even any EA game, any game, like and FIFA being no exception, like all the fucking imagery of like on any of the menus or any of the stuff, like for the last probably 4 or 5 years is like, you know, equality for all, like fucking end racism and fucking this and that, whatever. And then like literally the biggest global showcase of fucking football once every 4 years, and they're just like, I mean, yeah, but they have loads of money though, and I guess we're just gonna listen. If a few gays get killed, like, far be it from us to tell them what to do in their country. You're like, we just didn't have to put it there.
Yeah,
you could have put it fucking. Australia wanted it. Australia bid. Let Australia have it. Yeah. They're not racist at all. Their human rights record for centuries is immaculate. Just ask the people who lived there first. But but you know what I mean? Like, you'd think of like what could have been on offer.
Yeah.
Like, it's just,
I mean, I'm sure there's no real country where we could safely host the World Cup without.
but don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. Like,
That's-
you could at least go somewhere where they don't unashamedly chop people's hands off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's start there. Like, I know America has its problems, but they're not going to chop your hand off in a public square somewhere.
They'll
Like, that's
just
probably what those-
open fire on you in the stadium.
Yeah. No, not in school. But like, but you know, it's like, not to be really dark about it, but like, what do you think a lot of those stadiums are going to be used for after? Crap things. Really, really crap, awful things. And they're like, yeah, but sponsorship money and deals with shady regimes, yay. And then people are giving like Gary Neville load of fucking jip for going and signing a, which I think is probably fair.
I think it's fair and it's
Yeah.
understandable because.
But
of
he's
how-
wearing an armband or something on it, isn't he? Which I know doesn't. But
But he was very no. I think the thing was that he was all critical.
Yes.
Very critical of the whole thing being out there.
Yeah.
And then next thing he gets work with her. He's like, well, you can actually be critical while you're there.
Yeah, I won't, but you could. But you could be.
Yeah.
And then David Beckham with fucking Joe Lycett and fucking well, did you hear Joe Lycett didn't actually?
Yeah, so he
lend
had
the
already
money?
donated
Yeah.
the money to charity. He just ended up shredding
But
the cover of Attitude magazine.
David Beckham the whole time just like going like, I'm just going to ignore this. Hopefully some gays still like me at the end of it all. Yeah. Oh, fucking.
I'm
like,
a big fan of Joe Lycett, you know.
He's
I think
really
he's fucking great.
come on leaps and bounds.
He's
He's very good. Like
yeah.
that conservative.
He nuked Liz Truss.
He absolutely murdered her. Like, it was mad. Yeah, that whole thing with that, was it that new BBC
Not only did
show?
he nuke her, he kind of nuked the whole artifice of the political interview and the discussion and the panel show. He showed it. He held a mirror to how ridiculous it really is.
I love that their anger essentially just equated to, stop saying that. And he's like, what? I'm only saying,
know what you're doing.
And they're like, yeah, but you don't mean it. It's not fair to say it when you're trying to say it like a bastard. And he's like, I'm just a conservative. And they're like, yeah, but you're not, are you, Joe? Yeah, fair folks, the man, put him in fucking Downing Street. Give him a week anyway. Everyone's getting a week.
Yeah.
How many prime ministers have we had since we last chatted?
We've actually had two. Did we have
Well,
one
since we
where-
last had an episode out, there's been 3
and a queen's death?
and a full different monarch.
Will not spoil of which country.
Yeah. Check out season 3 of the UK. It's gonna be a big one this year.
I actually opened that episode to edit it just as I was looking to see what the last episode I needed to edit one, and it was around the start of September, which I think was when the
Yes, yeah.
when the Queen shuffled off this marital coil.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to hear that one.
King Charles took £3 million cash from the Qataris.
Did he?
Yeah.
To do what?
Just, I think, for charity, but still, you're like, Charles?
Yeah.
What's all that about, Charles? Probably have 3 million yourself.
That's what I was gonna say. Aye, if you're
What's all
really
that about?
that keen to.
Yeah.
Why did you have to be the recipient?
Maybe he can't count his own money with his enormous hands, so it has to be handed to him
Well, he has his money
in
counter.
amenable shopping bags.
The royals don't have wallets; they just have people that carry their cash on them. Sorry, just the thought of the royals needing petty cash for anything. There, I was like, no, that's just too ridiculous.
Camilla, go down and get me a packet of Camel Blue, please. Send one of the wallets. Oh man, I swear the amount of mad shit going on. And then they were talking about abolishing. I hear Starmer's chatting about abolishing the House of Lords.
He'll say any old shit to get.
I
him.
know. He's like, what do you want? I'll do whatever you want. He's like,
I will kill Jeremy Corbyn with my bare hands if it means I get to be Prime Minister.
Some of the fucking PMQ's answers, like from the Tories now, are just becoming like, they're becoming like a parody of themselves now. It's just like every time anyone says anything to them, which is like so obvious and terrible that they have to live with. They're like, yeah, but Jeremy Corbyn and his North London friends. Yeah. And they're like, but you can't just say that. What about the cold people and the people who are hungry? And they're like, yo, Jeremy Corbyn would love that.
Yeah, he has an allotment. Why can't he feed them if he's so concerned about them?
Oh, he does? Oh. But like, yeah, and then, do you know what I think, though? See the reform we really need in the UK, though? What? Here's what we need. There needs to be a rule banning those fucking plebs whenever there's any, like, same in Stormont as well, but like, do you know whenever like somebody's like doing, PMQs is a good example, but like any of those like parliamentary sort of like things, and everyone's in the background going like, whoa,
like, why did that become an acceptable thing to do? It's insane.
If I was speaker, I could get that, I could sort that in 2 days. 2 days. Out. I don't care if you're the Prime Minister. Get out. We'll just get another one. You're really good at coming up.
You shouldn't have been Moon.
Yeah, but do you know what I mean? Like all this, if they really wanted to get rid of it, it could just be done in 2 seconds. Like just like out. And there's only 3 people left. Well, maybe if you behave tomorrow, you can all sit still and fucking stay where you are.
It's crazy. I like that baffles me that's just
it's like the height of our democracy apparently, and they're all like, you're a cunt. And then they're like, oh, it's my turn to ask the question. Would the right honourable gentleman please? And you're like, fucking hell, come on. Like, that fucking kills me. That I hate listening to that shit. These fucking overpaid fucking dickheads. And all these Tories at the minute being like, well, it must be alright to be racist. She's saying it, and she's looks like the people that we normally give out about, and she hates immigrants as well. Yeah. What a perfect cover. Brilliant. I miss Kwasi Kwarteng as well. He gave us more cover again. We're so racist, but they're racist with us. It's perfect. What a brilliant time to be alive. It's all going really well. Yeah, that's enough of that.
Yeah.
Fucking Tory crack, eh? Good lad. Joe likes it too, for Prime Minister.
Yeah.
I'm calling it here. You heard it here first. Now, it might be 6 months after I said it when you hear this.
And I was gonna say, he might have already been ousted from office at the stage.
Yeah. Some enormous scandal. But turns out that he's straight. And he was riding David Beckham. It was a whole ploy between the two of us to sell more hair gel. But yeah, fuck. But anyway, we're tentatively confident. We have about 25 unreleased episodes.
Is that how much we have, really?
Yes.
Fuck me.
So, somewhere in the 20s anyway, I'm pretty sure. So, we have at least 20 weeks where we've no excuse. We probably will use them up quickly.
We'll see you at the tail end of next year.
I'll see you in about June for a panic meeting and another trip to IKEA. Fucking. So, hopefully this is we're back, baby! We're back, baby!
We're going to have to get a Christmas episode done as well. Oh, actually, we said something that we would do in one of the edits I was doing yesterday, which is a power hour, which I think is something that we should definitely...
Is that a shot of beer every minute?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll have to get picked up.
You can stay at mine.
The problem is that I won't have a night I can do that where I won't be gigging, so I will have to go and be blocked wherever I have to gig after, which we should just allow happen.
Maybe we should just do it after one of your gigs, late night.
Oh, yeah. And I could drink during the gig. No, I shouldn't.
No, you
because
shouldn't.
a power hour is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. And, I'm very rude to people as it is. It's been so long since I've figured out how bad I am whenever I've had a beer in me. Don't need any help there.
Have you peeled back the gigs? You said you were...
Not yet.
Are you? But you're still planning to?
I'm planning to, but I'm just keeping them up to Christmas. Just because, these people have been paying my bills for...
Yeah.
Fucking the last however many years. I don't want to just be like, bye.
But you've been getting some. You've been strong arming them into giving you more people to play with.
Yes, first of which is tomorrow night now, actually, which is cool. It was funny. They had a new. So the bar that we're doing it in had like a new manager, and I was chatting to him, and he was like, yeah, that'd be cool. Like fucking, let's give it. He's like, I'll need to. But it's funny, like even just the thinking from the bar side of it, like, and like what it seems to like take to get them over the line with it. Like, so he was like, he wanted to wait until he was like, there's a couple of Wednesdays in the future here where like he's like, I know we have like a load of bookings in, So he's like, so that'll be perfect. And I was like, no, but do it on. There's no point in spending loads of money on the people that you already knew were going to be there.
Yeah.
I was like, fucking spend it on the people who aren't going to be. Like, that's surely the goal here. Like, and he was just like, oh yeah, right, okay, yeah. Like, just like, but good. I'm fucking. It's not like, and I don't know. I don't know if it's going to set the world on fire, but I just hope that they at least give it a good run up to Christmas. If they hopefully get enough like feedback from people that are like in the bar, kind of being like, oh, this is cool. Then hopefully it might translate into something like in the new year or whatever. But like, and then there's another one starting in February as well, which is like a similar thing, like a 5-piece band again. So I'm just looking forward to having a couple of things in the diary every week that are like where I get to like fucking play with all my mates. Like, I think it'll be good crack. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting off the other side of gigging every night. I can probably. I can allude to I've like a deal that's after happening, which is cool. And whenever that's actually
more concrete, we can talk about it.
Yeah, I'll talk a bit more freely about it. But
it's all very exciting.
It's very exciting, and it just means that it'll take a wee bit of the pressure off, so I don't have to be so dogged. But yeah, looking forward to a bit of free time.
Yeah,
it'll be nice. Getting these out a bit more regularly, having time to maybe actually write songs, which would be nice, and maybe see the chain.
Maybe see the Wayne. How is the Wayne?
He's grand. I learned the most hilarious thing the other day. There was a moment. So we were up at Margaret's friend Emma's. Yeah, she has 2 kids.
Close friend, is she? Sound like you're struggling to remember.
No, I'm just.
Well,
I'm trying. Like in my head, I was trying to work out if it was important to explain. Like, so it's like her mum's mate, but she lives close. We were on a walk, called in. So she has like 2 kids of her own, but they're both like 16 and 13. Like, you know, so she hasn't had babies in the house for years, but obviously had some at some point. And so we were up in the house, and Arthur's like, he's crawling away. You know, he's like. Not like fully up on his knees yet, but he's figuring it out. There's a thing he does where he gets on his knees and he starts rocking a bit, and you can tell he's like, how do I get these to?
He's kind of gone on the engine, is he?
Yeah, it's just. but yeah, and so he's like he's fucking mad for road now. But anyway, so he was fucking scooting about, having a great time, and then Margaret needed to change his nappy, and she was changing his nappy, and she was sort of faced towards Emma while she was doing it, and she like pulls the nappy down. It's, you know, shit everywhere, whatever, and so she gives it a wee wipe, whatever, and she's like, his wee bum is all raw looking. Gonna have to put a bit of Sudocrem on that. And then Emma goes, are his teeth coming in? Margaret goes, yeah, and they both go, and I went, hang on. I was like, hang on.
Yeah,
I was like,
record scratch.
Let's go back. I was like, is this a known thing between women, but not amongst men, that if they have a sore ass, it's because their teeth are sore? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, is
funny,
it?
My wisdom tooth's coming out. My hole's been red raw for weeks.
So I was trying to think, like, if that carried on into that, obviously that the correlation between the two you must grow out of, but it's like a completely there was a health visitor came in yesterday as well.
So how long can you know? What's the link?
I don't know, but there's like a broad understanding amongst people who have had kids that if their teeth are coming through, it might mean that they get a bit of a raw ass. And I was like, right, okay. Can you imagine being at the dentist?
The body truly is a wonderland. John Mayer was right.
Can you imagine being at the dentist and he's got his, rubber gloved fingers and he's just doing all art and shit, and he's like, oh, nurse, this wisdom tooth is fucking cutting through often. And then she just flips the table up. And he's like, will you check his anus, please? And she's like, yes, absolutely.
Already on it.
But I was like, that is the most bizarre thing. And then whenever the health visitor, she was meant like due out for months, just like there's like landmark ages where they sort of call out and just see how he's getting on or whatever. But and she was telling Margaret a story about like another fucking baby that had like, it was all like, she was like, oh, he was all cracked and all his skin was all cracked. His teeth were killing him. I was like, in his ass? I don't understand this. Why is everyone just like...
Are babies like dogs?
I was just like, we all need to circle back here.
I think
like,
they're taking the hand. Idiot.
was there a meeting?
Margaret was like, here.
Sit before you get here. His head's fucked with this, right? Carry it on.
What do you think they did before nappies? Before the invention of nappies?
There was like people just used like, well, either nothing and just let them shit freely. Adam said when he lived in China that a lot of folks you would see doing that, like where their kid be walking and they would need a shit and they would just hold them above a bin
well,
in public.
you know, I'm not totally against that.
I've done it myself.
Like, it's just removing one step from the process because
Yeah.
that nappy's going in the bin.
Yeah, but you can seal it up. It doesn't perfectly
And
mask.
throw it in the car.
yeah, exactly. I mean, you can't just
A full nappy sealed up is a good size for throwing it in the car.
Yeah,
I imagine.
the benefit, of course, is that you can pick it up and throw it. But like, it's hard to get a good fistful of sore tooth diarrhea. You know what I mean? And just sort of give it one of those.
You could kind of hold the baby backwards under your arm and
Yeah.
squeeze.
Quickly, there's a bus coming. Playing him like the bagpipes. Just get it out of your son. He's back there, just like, what?
But like, I'm talking maybe 150 years ago. What, like, because there's a lot of shitting from what I can glean in
Yes.
early childhood. For the
So I've heard.
for the first 3 years, maybe.
Almost as much as I still do now.
yeah. But that's a lot to be doing, to be dealing with, and
It is. I think what they used to
they
do.
never teach you that in school.
There's still
in history.
There's still like, and people do still use them, which I think is gross. But it's not gross. Do what you want. But people use like reusable nappies.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I guess that's a thing. Like, but I don't know. Like, to be honest, like I'm starting to see the benefit if we could swing it. It's just for the amount of shit that he does. It's so hard to justify. But like,
That's what I don't think you're listening to what I'm saying. Like, I'm like, how, right? Think of the amount of shit Arthur's doing, and then imagine you and Margaret are in a wee cottage out somewhere 150 years ago in the middle of nowhere.
probably wouldn't have even entered your head.
Yeah, but what are they doing? Are they just shitting in a piece of cloth or what? Or are they?
Probably, I would imagine. Yeah.
But that piece of cloth's going to need scrubbed down, 3 or 4 times a day at the minimum?
I mean, my thinking would be that you would have a couple of different ones, and you wouldn't just rinse it under.
Do you think that's where all the flax and linen mills?
rinse it under the tap and strap it back on? My penis is cold. Shut up. Do you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, I mean, I imagine it's the sort of thing that like
Just rearing a child now and rearing a child 100 years ago, the difference must be fucking staggering. Like,
absolutely, man. Yeah, but I think nappies
you get them potty trained and get them straight to work.
Yeah, well, yeah, you
suppose
can't be
was
shit. You can't. You're gonna make no friends down in the coal mine if you're fucking still shitting your pants.
You're considered an adult as soon as you're out of nappies.
Yeah, well, you fucking were in like Victorian England.
Yeah.
Like, get straight up into them chimneys before you get too big. But I don't know. I tell you what, there's still plenty other things to be fucking. He is. He I have to say, he's doing my head in. At the minute. At the minute.
Me too, because he's really fucking with our release schedule.
He's really just, see, at the minute, man. He's like, oh, my teeth, oh, my ass. But he's like, he's in that sort of phase where, like, I don't know, from people that have kids that have chatted to, like, they all say it's like, they remember it and it was normal. I'm not worried about it, but it's just, it's exhausting. Like, he's in that bit where like he wants to be so he loves if you like hold him under here and like kind of like walk him. Like he loves like kind of walking about.
Who doesn't?
And he's stamping his feet and he's having a great time. But like the minute you stop doing that, it's just all this, and you're like, I'm not doing this all day. Like,
Yeah.
you figure it out. Learn to stand up or fuck up. Like,
Direct parenting.
enough of that. But and then like he'll crawl. It's really
Learn to stand or fuck up.
but it's funny because like he'll be sort of like pulling himself about now, you know, and he's still just like army crawling. He's not like up on his knees yet. But like every now and again he'll do it like until he's completely knackered, and then he'll just sort of like just
Face down.
into the carpet, just hear a wee sigh, like, like that, and you're like, you all right? And he's like, oh, can't, hasn't figured out to like lift his head before he turns it, so he's just dragging his face. But like, he's so restless, and he won't fucking sleep like more than like an hour, ever. And so I think he's sort of, I can't understand, and it's like like the sore teeth, sore ass fucking correlation. Like this understood and just
I think that's the name of this episode. Sore teeth, sore ass correlation.
Doctor. But this idea of like you could be so tired that you can't sleep, I just can't understand that.
I've been there.
I've been really tired,
delirious, like
yeah, but it wouldn't have been tough to get to sleep. I don't ever remember, like I remember being like up 24 hours plus and being mental, like, but then as soon as I had the chance to go to sleep, like I was gone. Like maybe I'm lucky, but just like I'm like, you were asleep like an hour ago, man. Like how tired could you be? All you have to do all day is just shit, suck a tit, and then go to sleep. That's my dream. He was there yesterday. Margaret had him in a harness on her back, and he was just sort of being like a wee backpack, just sort of floating about. And every now and again, her hair would get in his face, and he was like, all that sort of stuff. And then, like every now and again, you'd walk past him, and he'd sort of just shoot you a look, and he's just like, and then. And you're like, fucking, this is as good as it gets, man. God damn it.
It's all downhill from here.
Everything else after this is shit. Everything else after this is crap. Enjoy it, man. But yeah, and then just...
I would love to be carried around on a backpack by somebody twice my size.
Yes, can you imagine the scale, like if someone as
like
much...
in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the brain and the TV in your man's stomach. Well, it's not really the same, but you know.
I appreciate the effort. But
I'm trying to contribute, all right?
Imagine someone as percentage bigger than you as we are of Arthur, just picking you up and strapping you into their back, and you just sort of...
I would be sleeping all day.
Well, he does, if he's facing you and he's like on your front, he will sort of eventually fall asleep. Mm-hmm. But I end up sort of panicking because he doesn't make a whole song and dance about breathing. So you're sort of like...
you're the problem.
You're sort of like...
You're like waking him up every hour.
You're
Are you still alive?
You're right. Fucking hell. But
here, I was down home at the weekend there, and this just came into my head. My dad and ma got a takeaway on the way home from mass, and he got a pizza and chips, and he got a wee tub of curry sauce. It's about that size there. And he had the pizza and he had the chips and used the curry sauce, and there's about 3/4 of the curry sauce left. And he just lifts it like a chalice and just goes. Drinks the whole thing.
That's awful. My dad used to do that with the gravy as well after a Sunday dinner.
Really?
So
you drank the gravy of the Sunday dinner?
And it wasn't good gravy. Like
thick gravy, was it?
It was just Bisto. Like it was.
Oh my God, drinking Bisto.
I know.
You know, now that I say it.
You've definitely done it.
No, I haven't, but that's a surprise.
Well, but he would also be a fan of Bovril.
I've never had Bovril.
Which is like which can be a beef, sort of hot beef drink.
Is there any sort of hot sauce that you would feel comfortable with drinking like
just
that?
Drinking?
Like a chalice, like you're fucking taking the sacrament of
To be fair, I've made some I'm really good at making sauce, so I've made some good sauces, and I've been like, shit, this is really good, but it's only really enjoyable like with the thing.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well.
If I could probably like have a spoon of it quite enjoyably, like, but the thought of like finishing off whatever was left just down the gullet, like I can't wrap my head around that. Like, put some bread in it.
We were gonna have dinner, but then they decided to go out for dinner. But my brother texted me. Yeah, when I was up the road, he was like, "Did you know that when ma and dad go to McGinn's restaurant, that dad brings his own cutlery because he doesn't like the cutlery that they give him in the fucking restaurant?"
I love that. Makes sense, man. That's not the maddest. That's not the maddest thing I've ever heard. I think that's a good idea. I think you should bring your own cutlery.
Just in the breast pocket.
Though it makes it weird at the end when they're clearing your plates and you're like taking your dirty fork and knife back here and you're just like, don't worry about that. I'll fucking bring that back to the house with me. I've definitely robbed nice cutlery from a couple of bars years ago that I used to play in Bangor when I was really skint and we had like no cutlery. And I remember once staying back in one bar in particular, and they used to have all the forks and knives like it wrapped in the napkins, like just sitting in a wee tray for like the next day's service, and they let us come back for a lock-in after. And I'd gotten like a masala chip or something and was like, oh, I need a fork for this. And just was like, these are really good.
How far you've come from having to steal forks to now where you are now?
Take a look at me now. Yeah, shit's on the up, man. I think for both of us.
Yeah.
It seems like everything's heading in it. Like, I don't think there's anything now that IKEA could fill in our lives that we aren't able to fill ourselves.
Things are feel like they're.
You're doing really well.
Doing all right, yeah. I'm kind of
being modest. He's doing very well.
It's all. What feels weird to me is that it's all spread out over multiple things rather than like.
It's nice though, isn't
it? It's good, yeah.
It kind of keeps you.
I'm kind of upskilling a lot, like the video editing. I'm doing a lot of that.
You learn some audio shit.
Learned some audio shit. Yeah.
How was that?
It was. I fucking just hope that I could remember it when I go to apply it. Then but I think I got the basics of it.
You getting any good? You getting into like Black Friday deals on plugins? Being
Not
like,
yet. No.
Man, the reverb on this.
Not yet. I have kind of a lot of editing stuff to do over the next week or two, and I'm hoping that December and January I'm just be free to write a couple of scripts and write some music as well. But it's all like I'm still doing all that stuff, but it's just been spread out over many different projects. And in here I've been flat out in here, which is it's an interesting time in here because it's kind of like end of days a wee bit.
I just remembered the fucking bowl of couscous on the way in.
What about it?
These are fucking mad in here, like unbelievable. So whenever we come into the vault, we have to like, if we go in the front, I used to just go in the side door, but then there was like the flood and then the door got murdered, so I can't come in that door anymore. So now I still have to come in normally the main door, and so they all have to sign in. And there's like a wee book or whatever. And we walked in and we went, it's Mick who has to do it because he's the member here. So like he's like signing away. And then just next to the fucking clipboard or whatever that has the sign in stuff on it, there's an uncovered glass Pyrex bowl of couscous. And just as if it wasn't weird at all to say, he just goes, fuck, I must come back with a bit of Tupperware here later and fucking help myself to a bit of that. And I was just like, an uncovered bowl of couscous. Yeah, and then you said something which I think you thought was meant to make me feel better about it. But you're like, it was only made last night. I was like, and it's just sitting here.
It was less than 24 hours.
Just sitting here.
It's probably only been there for what?
Uncovered all night.
What odds? It's cold.
Big odds.
Refrigerated.
It is quite cold to be fair.
Couscous. How?
I fucking hate couscous.
Man, it was
fucking sand.
It was amazing.
Why? I've never.
Really
maybe my man just.
I know where. Like I used to hate it as well, but you get somebody who knows how to cook. Sorry, so I did not say that. I didn't. Sally, come back, Sally.
Hitting a woman when she's down.
That's not what I meant, but like
sounded like what you meant.
I don't know. God. Oh,
he's really killed himself now.
Yeah, no, things have been good in here, but as I say, it's kind of end of days for this building a wee bit over the next few months, and we're kind of things are progressing with like new buildings. It's all very exciting, but it's kind of been a bit.
Have you got a deadline for when you're out of here?
Where March is like the kind of rough time. But
looking good to have a replacement by then?
Positive, yeah. It is positive. It's done. Yeah. No, it's not done, but it's looking positive. It's fun, like it's kind of exciting.
What are we going to do?
Well, we'll just transfer all this. It's gonna, things. I don't want to say too much until we have like more stuff confirmed.
I'm almost excited by the thought of us having to go on our own. I think that'd be costly.
Did you see how deadpan my face was there?
I mean, it wouldn't really matter. I suppose if we had
who knows? There's opportunity. There may be opportunity to join.
To join the cult?
Yeah.
You mean?
I don't think you
infiltrate. I could be the Manchurian candidate.
I'd be walking around. I'd have to brief everybody before, like, okay, guys, there's a guy joining, right?
He thinks we're the cult.
Just try be normal around him for at least the first couple of weeks. I want no circus performance in the foyer. Don't want to scare them off.
It's such.
This is a reliable source of rental income here.
It's such a fucking. It's such. It really makes me laugh. Like some of the stuff that, like my first few times in here, or even just because of how infrequently I'm in here or whatever. But like just walking around like there's in the hallway. There's like an enormous sort of a light foil display, and it has like a big hole in it. So whenever you walk past it, it sort of goes like it's like someone just sort of crumpling a crisp packet just next to your ear as you walk by, and it gets me I'm like fucking hell.
I know, because
it's always dark, but and like it literally, it's just like a walking like drama student stereotype or something. It's unbelievable. Like some of the stuff where it's all like art. It's very nice. If I wasn't such a miserable bastard, I would think it was. I'd be like, yeah.
So I'll just take you up on a point though, because like, and I understand the stereotype about like drama students, but there's such a wide variety of people from very different backgrounds, for like lots of different countries as well.
In here,
here,
there is, yeah.
So there is a bit of a madness to it, for sure. But I think there's more. There's more. It's more than it's a community rather than a load of wanky fucking.
No, for sure. I'm just saying, as somebody who arrived already taking the hand out of it before I'd ever even been here,
we didn't help ourselves.
Yeah, 100%. Unopened, fucking or opened bowls of couscous lying about.
Just people walking in and lifting it with their hands.
Yeah. It's just it really didn't. Yeah, it didn't do itself any favors. Like it'll be weird to see it sort of reused now for something, whatever the fuck. Like, do they know what it's going to be? Flattened
this building,
apartments or something,
getting leveled, rebuilt.
What a waste.
Yeah.
Who needs houses?
Social housing. That's why you're not going to see us chaining ourselves to the building anytime soon. You can't really protest that.
I can't wait now. There'll be people fucking. There'll be people crying out for social housing now, and then they'll start giving it to people, and they'll be like, "Why are they getting it? This is ridiculous." And then that'll turn into its own fucking argument, and no one's ever happy. And be like, "Well, we could have been making couscous in there. We're fucking annoying anyone. We're minding our own business, just riding each other."
But it's been good, and I finished. Well, I think.
Is there a big hurrah party planned, or is that the Christmas thing?
There will be. I am sure there will be.
I'll have to sneak into that.
Aye, I'll get you in. I know a guy. I've been doing some filming. It's all wrapped up and everything. I got a rough edit back.
I still haven't seen it.
It's only a wee short thing, but and it's not like it's only to kind of be supplementary material to the actual script, which is weird because I was expecting to have had to do loads more work on the script, but like for all intents and purposes,
what did I tell you, man? Your first draft shit is your best shit. Always said it.
Yeah.
Always said it.
Yeah.
Don't let anyone edit anything ever. Just be like, no.
Well, it's funny. Like I know what you mean. Like I got a rough edit back of that, and I was like, wow, this is already way more. Feels like something that I would have done than some of the choices that were made in the pilot and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's all just a learning experience, man. Like the odds of getting your script to pilot stage are so slim. I just that really kind of came out of nowhere. To get that far with it, and there was a lot of restrictions in place, and I was very naive as to how much I could say and how much how much fucking voice I had in some decision making, But this time I was like, right, this time around I'm just have a good relationship with the producer and everything, so I was like, I'll just say it, like if there's anything. But there hasn't really been anything massive. It was cool. I was out in where the fuck was it? Where was the what do you call it when you go out the Jordanstown way? There's a place out there. What's the towns out that way? Whitehead, White Abbey.
Oh yeah.
We were out there filming, and it was only like a 4-hour shoot, but it was like 8:30 on the button to 12:30 on the button. They'd fucking nailed the timings and all. It was
class.
It was a lot of fun.
How many characters were needed for that?
4.
Sweet.
So the crew was about
enough.
25 all
really?
in total.
Mad.
Yeah.
Class.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Aye, I'm excited for it. It's yeah, if I could just get 1 or 2 more commissions now for next year, I'd be like lethal. I'm fucking everything's going. Well, everything is going. Everything's going well.
Absolutely. There's people betting down the door.
Yeah, I got some fucking funding as well. My bluff was called. What are you nodding limb for? couldn't believe it. I actually couldn't believe it when it came through. I felt fucking guilty when it came through because I knew some people who didn't get it who I feel like definitely should have.
Yeah.
So I was like, right, well, that's
some people who got it who should never.
Yeah, well, that's the difference between me and you, Nathan. I prefer to focus on the positives.
I've spiraled. I'm already derailed the conversation. Drew else a cunt.
But it means now I have to actually kind of deliver on the.
I wouldn't feel bad about that though. You like
no, I don't.
Because you don't
feel
get it
bad.
every time.
But
and I'm sure they've gotten it before.
I'll tell you what it was. I was surprised that I got it because at the time of writing the application, I was like, I'm kind of strapped for cash here, and have been a bit bereft of ideas for a while because I've been so focused on getting into the house, and then there was work done in the house, and all my fucking money was going into that. Bar Primavera and a couple of weddings. But you know, a guy's got to live.
Yeah, what am I just not going to go to a festival and fucking in my horizon? I've already bought the trousers.
I bought the tickets during lockdown, so like didn't want to have that sunk cost fallacy. Well, I guess I did have that. Is that? I don't know.
I think you did.
Yeah.
That's
But
why
no,
that's why you
anyway.
went.
So when I was like, I was like, it'd be bad form not to apply for funding if there's funding going. I was like, so I spent a couple of days thinking like, what could I actually do? What could I pitch? And when you're under stress and pressure about money and stuff, and the opportunity is presented to you, he's like, pitch us an idea or whatever. Tell us what you could use the money for. I was like, fuck. Well, I've got most equipment that I've need now for all my interests. It's like I'm gonna have to kind of think of some performance thing or some sort of show. So I spent a couple of days writing the application, and I was like, this is so shit. I was like, this is nonsense. Like, and then but I was like, just thinking, I was like, I have to try and apply for something because it's bad. It would be bad not to. So and then I forgot about it. And months later, it came in, and I was like, oh fuck. I have to fucking. They've called my bluff. I actually have to deliver on it.
But you'll be grand.
But I look back on it and I was like, it's not bad at all. But it's something out of my comfort zone.
Sure, look, you wouldn't have put it down if you weren't hoping somewhere that somebody would call your bluff.
I was kind of thinking, I was like, right, that was my kind of thought process. Is like, I'll write up something that I've always kind of wanted to do, but I've kind of been a bit afraid to do, and could always justify not doing it because of the time and the cost or whatever. So that's what I went for, and I got it. And I was like, oh fuck.
When are you planning for?
It doesn't have to be done by October, I don't think. So I thought initially it was going to be March, and that kind of put the shit up me a wee bit. But I think if it's October, it should be good enough.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you going to try and trial run it?
I'm going to figure out what it is, and then I'm going to start writing it and trialing it. And because the whole pitch of it was like, I spent the last couple of years upskilling in various different things. I was like, how about everything I've ever learned funneled into one live show in some form, and that's now what I have to fucking do. So I just have to figure out what that is, but it's kind of an exciting challenge. But I feel like it'll be a good bit of work. So if I could get another script commission,
maybe you could try out some of the bits on TikTok.
Here,
you could.
Let me tell you, I showed Orla what you're referring to there.
Whatever do you mean?
I showed Orla, and she was like, "This is excruciatingly embarrassing." And she goes, has Nathan seen this?
How brave. Listen. Yeah, oh my God. Listen, if people, that's the thing that holds us all back, I think, is that there are people who should never be heard from that have all the confidence in the world, and they're out doing things, and they're getting pulled in to be their fucking token guy for this and whatever, and they just sort of slowly manage to somehow scramble a career together, and they're crap. And then there's people who are fucking really good at and have probably far more potential than whatever, like yourself, in loads of ways that sort of end up going oh sure, I shouldn't be doing that, you know what I mean? And then but you should. And some shouldn't.
I'm going to have to.
You're going to have to now. Absolutely.
Because I'll have to claw that money out of my dead hands. So
just loads of Jordan Peterson drops.
You're never going to forgive me for that. It would have worked if I had time to snip the silence at the start of it.
I know.
It would have been brilliant, but at least I was trying, Nathan.
I forgot about the silence at the start. It was so good.
It would have been so good. I think, it would have been good. Have we edited the live show yet?
Yes, I did the big raw version of it, and then you came back with notes about like bits to take out.
Great.
But we have it there somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, we should
Could
probably
maybe nip that wee second silence and make that whole bit seem seamless.
yeah. Going, I have to find it now. But I
think using using that to cue things up and using some of the sound designing skills and techniques that I learned from the radio pilot, I think could be fun and interesting.
Absolutely.
And then you mix that with some live music and a bit of storytelling, whatever. There's something there, you know.
Absolutely. There's at least 8 buttons on it.
Yeah.
So the possibilities.
8 quotes from Jordan Peterson. That's 4, but just imagine there. You go
1, 2,
4,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, listen, the possibilities are
limited.
8. I think that'll do us.
Is that us? I couldn't see what the.
I had it there. That's an hour.
Oh,
Yeah.
sweet.
And we laughed, so that's when we ended.